Hi, so it's time for Wednesday night story time, and we're in for a treat. Hearing a story about a girl who never made mistakes. Did she have a good life, do you think? Because she never made mistakes? And the other one is zombies. Don't eat veggies. And what would you do if you were a zombie and you were told that you can't eat vegetables even if you like them? What would you do? So let's enjoy. The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes by Mark Pett and Gary Rubenstein. Illustrated by Mark Pett. There's somebody waking up for Beatrice Bottomwell. Friday began like any other day. Huh, in bed with a great big yawn. She matched her socks, and of course, she put her shoes on their proper feet. She remembered to feed her hamster, Hugh Humbert, his favorite food, broccoli. And when she made a sandwich for her brother Carl's lunch, she used exactly the same amount of peanut butter as jelly. When she stepped outside to greet her fans, she didn't forget to say, "Good morning," and "Thank you." They asked if she made her bed. She had. "What about tonight's talent show?" they asked. "I'm ready," said Beatrice with a smile. After all, her juggling act had won 3 years in a row. Most people in town didn't even know Beatrice's name. They just called her the girl who never makes mistakes. Because for as long as anyone could remember, she never did. Unlike Beatrice, Carl made lots of mistakes. He ate his crayons and drew with his green beans. He danced with his hands and played the piano with his feet. Carl loved making mistakes. At school, Beatrice was on a cooking team with her two best friends, Millie and Sarah. To make their giant rhubarb muffins, they needed 4 eggs. Beatrice went to the refrigerator and carefully chose the biggest, eggiest eggs that she could find. But on the way back, her legs slipped out from under her. The eggs went flying. Beatrice was about to make her first mistake. But she didn't. That was close, thought Beatrice. Scary. Beatrice, I dropped a piece of rhubarb. For the rest of the school day, Beatrice could not stop thinking about her almost mistake. On her way home from school, Beatrice watched Millie and Sarah ice skating in the park. "Come on, join us," said Millie. "It's fun," said Sarah. Beatrice watched them slip and slide on the frozen pond. Millie and Sarah laughed as they wobbled on the ice. "No, thanks," said Beatrice. Wonder why she doesn't want to. At supper, Beatrice barely touched her food. "Is everything okay, kiddo?" asked her father. "I'm worried I'll mess up tonight," said Beatrice, "and everyone will be watching." worry. You don't make mistakes, he said with a smile. Beatrice tried to smile. So is this foreshadowing? Is something different going to happen today? What do you think? After supper, Beatrice got ready for the talent show. First, she woke Humbert from his nap. Next, she got the salt shaker from the kitchen table. Finally, she filled a balloon with water. The school auditorium was packed. Beatrice felt her stomach jumping around inside her. Do you ever have your stomach jumping around inside of you? What does that mean? Do you think she could be scared? What do you think's going to happen? Beatrice waited for her juggling music to begin. That's her! That's the girl who never makes mistakes, said a woman. Oh, we know she'll be perfect, said a man. When the music started, she tossed Humbert into the air. Next, she added the salt shaker, and finally, the water balloon. Beatrice didn't miss a beat. The crowd clapped with delight, but Beatrice noticed something odd about the salt shaker. The specks falling out of it were not white. Uh-oh. The salt shaker doesn't have whites coming out, so it's probably not what? Achoo! Humbert was so surprised by his sneeze that he grabbed the water balloon with his claws. Kablooey! Humbert, pieces of water balloon, and the pepper rained down on top of Beatrice. For the first time in as long as anyone could remember, Beatrice made a mistake. And it was a big one. The music stopped. Beatrice didn't know what to do. Cry? Run off the stage? The crowd sat stunned. They couldn't believe that the girl who never makes mistakes made a mistake. Beatrice looked at Humbert. He looked back at her. His hamster fur was soaked and speckled with bits of balloon. Beatrice let out a giggle. The giggle grew into a chuckle, and the chuckle turned a laugh. The people in the crowd looked at each other and then looked back at Beatrice. They began to giggle. Then they began to chuckle. Then, finally, roar with laughter. Beatrice and the audience laughed until they couldn't remember why they were even laughing. Oh. That night, Beatrice slept better than she ever had. In the morning, no fans greeted Beatrice. When she got dressed, Beatrice, for no reason at all, put on a polka dot sock on one foot and a plaid sock on the other. Beatrice and Carl made sandwiches. This time, they put the peanut butter and jelly on the outside. They called it an inside-out PB&J. Lunch was messy and delicious. Later, Beatrice found Millie and Sarah skating in the park. They fell a lot and laughed. Now, people no longer call her the girl who never makes mistakes. They just call her Beatrice. Beatrice Bottomwell has never, not once, made a mistake. So I hope you enjoyed that story. And so can you tell me, does not making a mistake have a price? In the case of Beatrice, she did make mistakes, but did you notice something? That while everybody else was having fun and doing things, she couldn't ever make a mistake. So when other kids were learning how to ice skate and their friends were laughing and having fun and like falling because they made a mistake, could Beatrice join in? No, because she would make a mistake. She might fall. So being perfect and not ever making a mistake means you have to do something extraordinary. You have to do what? You have to be perfect all the time. And how can you be perfect all the time if you're learning something new? Can you do something perfectly if you don't know how to do something? If you're learning, that's the price you pay. So maybe being perfect isn't such a good thing. Maybe never making a mistake is not a good thing. And can you, somebody want to put in chat or in the add a comment to the website? It can let me know what they think the price, what they want to pay that price of being perfect, which is not trying something new, not learning something new, always doing what you have done. And did you notice she did the same trick how many years in a row? 3. Because she couldn't take a chance and do something different because she might not be perfect, might make a mistake. So she had to do the same thing over and over and over again. So would it be fun doing the same thing over and over again? Would it be fun not ever learning anything new, not learning and not trying something that you may not be perfect at? Is that a good choice? Or maybe the solution is like when she made up that mistake and everything went wrong and everything didn't turn out perfectly. Everybody was stunned, including her. And what did she do? She started to laugh. She started a tiny little giggle. And then it turned into a what? A chuckle. And she just was laughing out loud. And everybody was they were like, it was funny. It was funny. She was all wet. The house was wet. Humbert was all wet. The water was wet. It was funny. And so everybody laughed. And so also I noticed is that at the end, nobody was waiting outside her window or nobody was waiting for, because she wasn't perfect anymore. So what the heck, what's the difference? So let me know, make a comment Maybe you could share sometime that you made a mistake and didn't turn out well. And making a mistake, doing something, having something not turn out well. Sometimes laughter is the best you can do under the circumstances. So we also have another story that I'm excited to share, and it's called Zombies Don't Eat Veggies. And this is a very unusual zombie. He likes veggies. He likes all kinds of vegetables. So let's enjoy this story and see what you think. Is it hard being different from everybody else? Is it difficult to like something that you're not supposed to like? So this is called Zombies Don't Eat Veggies, and it's read by James Camille.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Storyline Online, brought to you by the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. My name is Jaime Camille, and today I'm going to read for you Zombies Don't Eat Veggies, created by Megan Lacera and Jorge Lacera. Mo was a zombie with a deep, dark craving. It was dreadful, devious, absolutely despicable. Mo loved to eat vegetables. He grew all kinds of veggies in his hidden garden. And then, in his secret kitchen, he crafted celery, tomatoes, and carrots into delicioso meals that he devoured with delight. Mo's mom and dad did not love vegetables. Not one bit. Veggies were yucky, disgusting. Que asco! Ugh. They were not allowed at the Romero's dinner table. Ready to chase some humans in the marathon next week, mijo? Zombies were supposed to eat zombie cuisine, like brain cakes, brain stew, and brain and bean tortillas. Most parents insisted that their niño eat only zombie food. Finger foods, mi amor? Gracias. I'm not hungry. Mo tried to convince his mom and dad to give peace a chance. He sneaked in vegetables whenever he could, but most attempts were fruitless. His parents wanted him to accept who he was, a zombie. And zombies don't eat veggies. Mo knew he did not like zombie cuisine, and he couldn't imagine letting go of spinach or cucumbers or kale forever. If zombies are only supposed to eat zombie cuisine, Mo started to wonder if maybe he wasn't a zombie after all. Day after day, Mo wondered how he could make his parents understand his love of veggies. His tomatoes were tantalizing, his cucumbers crispy, the peppers perfection. Add onions, some garlic, a touch of cilantro, and gazpacho. Holy aioli, Mo had an idea, his best one yet. Mo grabbed his book of recipes. His fingers flew across the pages until he found it. The recipe for a tomato and veggie filled soup. He was sure the tomatoes would make it look bloody and gloopy, just like a zombie dish. His parents were going to devour it. Mo chopped and diced, blended and pureed, perfected and poured. Finally, the soup was finished. Mo carefully shuffled it over to the house for dinner, where he found a feast fit for a zombie. Mo, You're just in time. Try some arm empanadas, mi amor. Prime cuts. Mira, I made spicy mayonnaise. I made something for you to try too. It's called blood bile bisque. Bon Appetit gave it 5 brains. Smells strange. Looks delightful. 5 brains must be delicioso. They dug in. Mo closed his eyes and sucked in his breath. This was it. They'd savor the soup. They'd ask for más. Mo imagined breakfasts, lunches, dinners, snacks, all vegetables. Raw, cooked, steamed, and fried. Forever and ever. He saw all his dreams coming true. Until most parents did not like the soup. Not one bit. Dios mío, this soup tastes like vegetables. Yuck. Mo's heart sank to his toes. His plan was a bust. How many times do we have to tell you that zombies don't eat veggies? Maybe other zombies don't eat vegetables, but I do. Mom and Dad, I'm different. But I'm still me, Mauricio Romero, your niño, your Mo. Mo reminded his parents that he liked chasing humans as they ran in marathons, and he promised he'd always cheer for Dad during championship brain-eating competitions. He also loved doing the zombie shuffle under the moonlight with Mom. He was a zombie, a Romero. He just liked to eat vegetables. Most parents loved their son and finally accepted that it was okay to be different. They even promised Mo they would eat more veggies for him. But only a teeny tiny bit. The Romeros knew that most zombies don't eat veggies. But they were more than zombies. They were a family. The end. Well, I love this story for many reasons. First of all, it is perfectly fine to be different because in a loving family, you'll be accepted and it's okay to express yourself. And as Mo showed us, he was very respectful of his parents and they were able to come together and compromise and show respect for each other. So don't ever forget, kids, be true to yourself, be honest, express yourself, and don't be afraid to be authentic. Thank you for watching Storyline Online. Make sure to check out all of our stories, and please keep watching and keep reading.
Okay, so tell me, what did you think of zombies don't eat veggies? Did you have fun with that? Was it a fun story? I thought it was very fun. And so, as usually, parents spend a lot of time trying to get their kids to try to eat veggies. It's interesting that this kid loves, or the zombie loves, veggies. So it was a fun story. It's a amusing story. Parents liked eating different things. Um, he had a hard time because he looked at things differently. He kept trying to get what his parents to try different veggies. He tried cooking them different ways, and he tried showing them that they could be tasty. He cooked them. He made a veggie I had um, on a creature, and his parents though just didn't like veggies. But in the end, um, he stood up for himself, even though it's like, gee, I'm different. I'm not like any other zombie. And at one point, he was saying, am I a zombie? Maybe I'm really not a zombie. And then he decided, yes, so he is a zombie. He did like to do zombie things. He liked to race in the marathon, and he liked to do things with his mom. But he just liked different foods, and he was respectful to his parents, and he listened to his parents, and his parents did something kind of cool that I thought was really cool. What did the parents say? Even though they didn't like veggies, even though they tried very hard to get him to eat other foods besides veggies, the parents came up with a compromise. They said they would do what? Eat veggies sometimes, just not a lot. They obviously didn't like veggies, but the comment at the end was they were more than zombies. They were something, and what was the word he used and this Romero used? They were not just zombies, they were what? Family. And in families, it's okay to be different, and it's okay to have differences, but they balanced being okay with being different with, I thought was interesting, was not what? Yelling at each other or shouting or threatening or doing any of those kinds of things. But they had a compromise. They compromised. They both compromised, both the parents and Romero. They respected the differences, each other's differences, but going to do some of the things that made the other person or persons happy. So, what do you think of these two stories? The first one about being perfect, is there a price to pay to always have to be perfect, to always do things perfectly? Is there a price you pay? And the second one talks about being different. Is it okay to be different? Is there a way to be different and still not cross that line of being rude or disrespectful? Is there a way to get to something called acceptance of differences? And is there a way to do that respectfully? Is it okay to present your point of view if it's different from the people around you? Is there a way to do that as a family? So I enjoyed these two stories, and I'm hoping you enjoyed them. And leave me a comment on Facebook. I'm curious to think what you thought of these stories. And this is Bonnie Balda from Panic Public Library, wishing you and your family a happy and healthy day, and maybe deal with the veggie war versus not veggie war. So, of course, maybe the choice of word war is a bad choice. Maybe it's a negotiation. in a compromise instead of a war. And that's maybe the point. Goodbye.